watching out for you. This is Newswatch 12 This Morning with Danielle Craig, Kirsten O'Connor, and Stormwatch 12 weather with meteorologist Seth Phillips.
Forecasters are warning a Category 4 hurricane. It's Hurricane Joaquin could get even more dangerous today. Islands in the central Bahamas are getting hammered by torrential rains. And take a look at this video. You can see it's flooded streets, homes in that area. The danger of a strike on the East Coast appears to have diminished, but experts are keeping a close eye on the storm. Meanwhile, some eastern cities are digging up mounds of sand this morning, building dunes to keep the potential storm from flooding coastal cities. How, as we watch a hurricane, is it likely to, if right now we're thinking, okay, the East Coast is safe, is it likely to change course and once again threaten the East Coast?
When you look at a hurricane track and the projected path, there's always that uncertainty that it could go in any one direction. Now, we always take a look at what's happening outside of the hurricane to tell what's going to steer this thing. Could it be that we're getting a high pressure ridge, it's going to kind of move it towards one area, or even a low pressure system that could push it out of the way? And that's kind of what we're looking at with this storm. It seems like a cold front that's actually moving through the eastern seaboard right now will keep this thing moving off further to the east, which of course is good news. That will keep it away from a U.S. landfall impact and push it further out towards the Atlantic. But really what we're concerned about right now is how much rain this thing is dumping where it sits, because it is moving, but it's moving very slowly throughout the Bahamas. Still a Category 4 storm, 130-mile-per-hour winds, but it's basically sitting. It's only moving about 4 miles per hour at times off to the northwest, and that's why the Bahamas are getting dumped on. Tons of rain just falling each day, and until this thing moves out of the region, it's really going to keep those impacts. That's why they still have the hurricane and tropical storm warnings in place for those islands. Now, what's looking at in the upper atmosphere, well, we have our high pressure ridge out to the east of the storm. That's going to eventually start to break down as we head into the next couple of days. This low pressure center right here pulling the storm up to the north and then eventually the northeast. So that is why the projected path is now moving a little bit further out towards the Atlantic, and as that storm continues to move up to the north, it's going to counteract with the cooler water and then of course more wind shear, and that's going to keep that storm breaking down as it goes. Still though, as it's crossing past the Carolinas up into the northeast, we're still talking about a Category 2 or even 1 storm as we head up into that portion of the next few days. So it's still going to be bringing winds and rain. That's why they still have several coastal flood, rip current advisories, beach warnings still along the East Coast, and of course our hurricane and tropical storm warnings for the Bahamas all continues because of that storm.